I hate the way you talk to me and the way you cut your hair. I hate the way you drive my car. I hate it when you stare. I hate your big dumb combat boots and the way you read my mind. I hate you so much it makes me sick. It even makes me rhyme. I hate it. I hate the way you're always right. I hate it when you lie. I hate it when you make me laugh. Even worse when you make me cry. I hate it when you're not around and the fact that you didn't call. But mostly I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even at all.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you guys are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to share. And please don't forget to comment down below because it not only helps me, but it helps everybody else. So today I'm going to be talking about 12th house synastry. Now I'm just going to basically talk about my experience and how I dealt with this with somebody that I actually knew. The word that I'm going to describe about 12th house in general is just confusion of incomprehensible, because when you look at the 12th house itself, it rules the subconscious, and it also rules, I believe, this is my opinion, but you could research that it also has something to do with accessing the spiritual realm too. I feel like when you have those planets in that person's house, I just feel like there's access to stuff that is just not in this reality. It's in another realm. When I had a person's planet go into my house, there were times where, and I don't know if other astrologers have talked about this, the dreams, oh my God, there's a whole bunch of dreams with this person. You constantly have a whole bunch of dreams where you can't explain. And that's why I talk about the subconscious point. It gets to the point that it's like me, and everybody wants to be able to remember their dreams. Sometimes I feel like I can remember bits and pieces of it, but it feels like also I want to talk about how the fact that it feels like this relationship that you have with this person is like no other relationship that you've ever experienced in a reality terms. It's so on another medical, physical level where it's just out of this world. It just feels like these feelings that literally come up out of nowhere. And the way I want to express this is that when I met this person, I knew that I kind of felt like I knew them, like instantly, because I don't know if maybe this also has to tie towards the 8th house also as well. But I knew when I met this person, it was like on a soul to soul connection. Like I had a past life with them. And it was like instant recognition with them. I tell you, I literally just look right into their eyes and it was like instant recognition. Like I felt like I had total trust with this person. And like, side note, my Venus fell into their 12th house and that person's Venus fell into my 12th. Well, my Venus fell into his 12th house and his moon fell into my 12th house. That's just to keep it up to speed so you guys know what type of synastry that we're dealing with. Well, my point is I just felt like when I looked at him, I felt like I had this unconditional love for this person. Like I didn't even have to know him. I felt like I had an instant trust a trust with him. Like it was just so eerie. Like I felt like I could give him my social security. I felt like I could give him like $5,000 and tell him like, here, hold this for like 6 months and just give it back to me. I could trust that he would hold that money in my social security for 6 months and then give it back to me. It was just like I just had faith in this person, and I put them literally like on a pedestal of admiration, and I such enamored by this person where I just had a lot of trust with them. I can't explain. It was just like, and then when I would see them, it's so hard to communicate with them. It's like I can't get my words together to exactly express how I truly feel. And I say this too with that 12th house synastry. It's feelings, it's the emotions. I literally want to express this to them, but then I literally come up to the person freeze up. Like, I don't know how to express what I'm like. I know how to talk. I talk to this person, that person. I talk to multiple people, but why can't I talk to this person? And it gets down to a point where I'm like, oh my God, like, why? But I feel like it's like a connection. I remember there was one time when I was communicating with him, and he worked at my job, and I remember I was like, well, I was looking for you, I was trying to find you, and he was like, well, were you looking for me? And I said, I was just thinking about you. And he was like, well, have you been thinking about me all day, all the time? So it feels like it's unspoken language between one another, where I feel like we're on the same level of communicating, but it just feels like it's unspoken, where it will never be truly expressed in words. I feel like this person, when I think about them, wherever I go, it's like I could be thinking of this one or that. I could just be sitting there in my bed, lying there, and they just automatically come in my mind, and thinking about them. It's like an obsession over it. I don't know if that has tied towards the 8th house in a way, but this person, you truly have this unconditional love for them like no other. It's like so purifying, where it's just so calming and relaxing that you have this relationship, and you'll never be able to experience with any other of the houses. And I tell you that now, you won't be able to experience any of this, because like they say, the 12th house, and I always use like an analogy to describe the 12th house is basically like for us, like somebody, it's like literally your subconscious, where it's like an attic. I don't know what's up in that attic, and I'd rather not go up there, not unless you need a lot of healing work. Because that's another thing I noticed. When I met this person, they put me on a spiritual awakening that was like on so other types of levels, where I feel like it literally ascended me, where it really caused a lot of transformation in my life, where I feel like I'm more spiritually grounded than I ever been in my whole entire life. I just feel like, and going back towards the analogy and compare and contrast, it reminds me as if it's an attic. If you think of an attic, it's like literally, I don't have access to that. And for me to get really access to that, of course, I probably have to meet with like a hypnotherapist or something, or somebody like that could hypnotize me to be able to retrieve some of that information. But the person that goes into your actual 12th house, the planets that go into that 12th house, they can see everything for what it is. They can see everything. And it feels like sometimes it's eerie and so scary at the same time, because they can look in that attic and see everything. And there's some times where you're like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you know this information? Like, they can express it, and it says, I know you're experiencing this. I know you feel this. I know you would experience that, or went through this type of trauma. And then you're like, well, no, I haven't experienced, but you don't even know what your subconscious is holding. You don't even know what's in the attic. But once those personal planets goes in that person's 12th house, they can see everything. That's why it's like the key that opens up everything, of accessing everything within your subconscious mind. But I just wanted to speak about the 12th house synastry, and I also wanted to note too about the telepathic connection too with that. The person you can think of, you just have an instant telepathic connection where you don't have to say, and I told you, it's in another realm, that's in another spiritual round, where it's not in this round of reality. You can look at the person and know exactly what they're thinking, and it's more like a telepathical connection. You don't have to say any words. The words don't have to be spoken. You just have a feeling of an essence of what they're communicating. So the bond between that person is so strong and so karmic that you will never be able to not be able to forget them. That having that 12th house synastry can be very life-changing. I feel like it could be for the better or for the worst, and it can be very traumatic. Like, you'll just never meet somebody like you've met before once those planets go into your actual house. This is my experience. Hey guys, and I'm so sorry because I want to add a little bit more information to this. I just felt like it also with the placements of the house places being in the 12th house, it just reminds me as this is like an what do they say, unrequited or I feel like I'm not pronouncing it wrong, but please look that word up. I think it's unrequited. It's a love that you have with this person that you may not be able to get. And that's just reality, because I've learned that too, because when I had my own experience with this person, with, you know, him having, with my Venus being in his house, like I put him on a pedestal, I had a lot of admiration for him. And I say towards like trust, like I trust this person. And then there were times where it was a magnetic attraction, but it was like a push and pull, like hi and then no, and then it was just confusing. There was a lot of confusion with feelings, because I knew him to a certain extent, but I knew he was a married man, and I knew that he had 2 kids and he had a wife. But it was just like, I don't want to ever express anything to him personally, because I don't want to be the demise of their marriage. I don't want to be the destruction of their marriage, and I don't want to cause something, start something, and create a complete mess of it, where I'm like, how the beat did I get myself in this situation, and how do I get out of it? I feel like there's times where those people that end up being in your 12th house, as far as the planets is, and I'm speaking at a perspective like on a romance level, where, and it could be also for a friendship level too, where it gets to a point where you really feel like this relationship, I don't know, depending on the aspects too, you gotta look at the person's chart, you won't be with this person in this lifetime, and in this reality, you'll just continue to feel like, in a way, like your heart is broken, like broken forever. And what really gets me is it's like, well, you know, like some people will say like, well, pick up the pieces, you'll find another one, but it's like, you'll find somebody, but you'll never be able to find somebody that has those planets in your 12th house and make you feel the way you feel with your emotions. And there are many times where I'm expressing this now, that I wanted to go up to him and just like embrace him and give him, like, touch him, but I have to act according to manner where I'm at the appropriate setting, which is at work. You can't do that, you know, you just can't do that, but that's what I want, you know. And I expressed that, like, when I had a dream, I remember with him, I had my hands on his face, and I could feel like, I honestly felt like the touch of just his skin. I could put my lips on his face and feel it, but it just reminds me as if it's something like an experience, of a learning experience that you go through for yourself. But sometimes I feel like with the 12th house synastry, it's nothing that could be long term. It could just also end up being something temporary. And just the fact that I look at this, it also helps to create just a learning experience. But that's what I had to add into this additional video. But again, thank you so much, guys, and we're gonna get back to the ending of the video. This is my experience. Please, I would appreciate if you guys comment down below, because I want to get your thoughts, your feelings, your questions on, have you experienced this with the dreams, the telepathic connection, and feeling like you're connected to this person on another round, like you feeling as though that you had a past life with them, feeling as though that you know this person deep down inside, and you feel like there's a bond, like even if you feel like you go away and come back, the bond is still there, like it can never be unbroken. So that's my experience. You guys have a great day, and yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.